All right, welcome to today's daily vlog, and today I'm just going to talk about the relationship between volume, intensity, and frequency. So basically, I got some questions today about what I'm doing as far as like the lifts, the new lift scheme I'm trying out with my training partners, and basically what we're doing it's my own kind of variation of what Dan John's 40 simple easy strength program is. So in Dan John's easy strength program, basically for 40 days, with basically not 40 days in a row. Well, actually, it is 40 days in a row for him. 40 days in a row, you do some sort of hinge, some sort of press, some sort of row, some sort of carry. And what you do is you work up. You do two sets of 5. One set's a heavy set of 5. Another one's a drop set. And basically, the rule is you make it so that everything moves smooth, never lose form, and you only go up on the weights until they get easy. So this is what you'd call a high frequency program. But what the sacrifice of doing high frequency means is lowering the intensity. And the volume per day is low because the volume overall is large. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, in this, if you look at 5 days in a row, right? You're doing 2 sets of 5 each day. That's only 10 reps, right? But if you look over the course of the week, you're doing 50 reps, right? If over 5 days. So like the theory behind it is, let's say you wanted to do 100 pounds and you wanted to do 5 sets of 5. That's 25 reps. You'd probably do that once a week, you know what I mean, of whatever lift, maybe twice. And that's a total of 25 reps at X weight. The thing is with this, instead of trying to do the most rep, that high volume on one day, what you do is you reel it back. You go, okay, I'm going to do 10 today, and I'm going to do it at a higher weight than I would if I did 5x5. And then the next day I'm going to do the same weight, which is still a higher weight than what you would do in the 5x5. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So you spend actually more time at higher weights than what you would do if you were to jam it all into one day. So that's kind of, what Dan John does. And we kind of took that concept because what was happening is, the program we were doing for the last 20 weeks, not including this week, was very high intensity and low volume. So we were lifting lower body 3 times a week, upper body twice a week. But on those lower body days, we were only spending time above, 80%. And 80% was the low, you know what I mean? And we would be doing 5 sets of 2, then 4 sets of 1, then back to 5 sets of 2, or 4 sets of 1, And then, so we were really only doing doubles and singles, and then our speed work was all doubles and singles. And, the intensity was pretty high. So the volume was lower. And I think, as we kind of progressed through towards week 18, 19, 20, basically we started to kind of, plateau a little bit. We weren't seeing the best gains that we wanted. We still had some, good improvements, but not exactly what we wanted. And, going for a max on a big lift, the deadlift, it just didn't go well. So it kind of drove us to let's kind of see if maybe we can find something else. So what we decided to do is we're going to reel back on the intensity and just increase the volume, but not to the point where each and every day we're totally destroyed. But how we're going to do it is we're going to make it so over the course of the week we get more volume, but daily we get less. Now, the scheme that we kind of came up with, we have, in a 5-day split, we have an A day, which is like kind of the competition day, which we do twice in a week. We have a B day, a C day, and then we have a tonic day. So in Dan John's scheme, it's like a tonic day. It's basically like a down day. Like you deload, once every 5 days is what he said. So that's what we're doing. We decided to put that on Wednesday. Basically, you go 50% of what everything else you've been doing, and you do 2 sets of 10. Now, you do that 2 sets of 10 is just a way to kind of, promote recovery. You get the intensity reeled back even more. You get a quicker workout in. And that way, even mentally, too, you can take a break from it. So the A day is what I'm just kind of calling the competition day. So we're doing the same thing where we're going a heavy set of 5, a drop set of 5, and we do it at each of the 3 lifts. And we're going competition style. So we go competition then lift, competition bench, competition squat. Now, obviously, the weights, the intensity is pretty it's pretty low, for what, we could do for fives, but that's because we're going to, hinge, press, squat 5 times a week. So the intensity where we're starting is very low, but I have a feeling it's going to build pretty quickly. So basically our baseline is started at 80%. And we just want to see what happened. Because, 80% is a weight that, you could range between being able to do about 10, from 5 if you're, really not good at reps to 10 to 12 reps and at your 80%. So, anyways, so that's the A day. And then on each of these days, what I decide to do is, we're going to do some sort of heavy row. And whether it's going to be a fat grip pull up or something, we're doing some sort of pull. So basically, I just want to alternate between some sort of fat grip pull, whether it's a pull up, a landmine, a row with fat grip, or we're going to just do 2 sets of 20 row. So it's kind of like the croc row type of deal, just because I know how beneficial that is to not just your pulls, but also to your upper body strength and your bench. Then we have a B day, and basically the B day, this is kind of where like the conjugate-esque of myself comes in and where the variation comes in. So instead of hammering the same exact exercises, we are rotating the exercises for the movement pattern, depending on weakness. So what I'm weak in specifically in the deadlift is I'm weak off the floor. So what I'm doing on that second day for my hinge exercises, I'm going a deficit pause. And same thing, 1 set of 5, then drop set of 5. Then what we did is we went dumbbell bench, because we wanted to get away from the barbell, get a little bit of dumbbell. Same thing, 1 set of 5, back down 1 set of drop set, 1 set of 5. And then for the squat, we did safety bar, so that's how we varied on that day. Then we actually did the croc row that day, and then we end with a circuit of, some sort of hip extension, some sort of carry, some sort of single leg, and some sort of oblique table lift where I'm kind of doing like the Turkish get up, barbell side press, or, just like general oblique lift, or lunge overhead press, unsupported overhead press, something like that. So we rotate those exercises every day. And lastly, so then what we do, that's our first 3 days where we have the A day Monday, B day Tuesday, and then tonic day Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we do the A day again because we want to spend more time working on those movements because those are what we need. So did that again. And then the C day is where it's going to be another variation. So I think what we're going to decide to do is do some sort of, I think we're going to go snatch grip, deadlift. We're going to go Swiss bar, pin press, and then belt squat, wide squat. Just another variation. Then back to the 2 sets of 20 row. So, that's kind of what we're doing. I've also added in our warm-up, I want to try just doing band pull aparts, do a heavy set, 2 sets of heavy reverse hyper for 10, so heavy-ish, kind of like the bottom line of where we would go. It's at this point, it's like an easy set of 10, but it's still heavier than what we've been doing, and we're doing it every day. And then on top of that, adding in a goblet squat, just part of the warm-up, and I want to do it every day just because I want to see what, if I can get a push in the strength by, pushing that goblet squat at the beginning of a workout. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and basically all the function of that is to lower the intensity, but the frequency is increased, so therefore the volume over the course of the week is better, but the daily volume is less. So that's kind of what's going on. That's the relationship between those 3 things. Let me know if you have any questions or if you're interested in kind of doing this program or a variation of it. Have a good night.